Welcome everyone to the show. Hello, my name is Christine. Hello everyone in 12 Radio Land. You guys come on over to my YouTube channel and join in the conversation. My name is Christine Mourier. Today is it's the 8th of June. And wow, you guys, I'm doing something very interesting today with the show. I'm going to talk about the weather report that is connected to this global frequency of one that we're all moving through, and it is it's just something that I need to add to the conversation, simply because it leaves an incomplete picture of what we're really kind of dealing with here, in the big picture scheme of things. So, guys, get into this chat room and ask your questions. I see Denise is in the house. Hi, Angel. I am glad that you are here today. Share opinions, thoughts, questions, anything that you have. All right. So, for all of you who don't know me, I'm a numerologist. That's one of the hats that I wear. I'm a musician, and I am also an intuitive and a seer and a psychic. That is the bread and butter in my world. I work over at 12listen.com with my fellow colleagues of intuitives. And it is a place that I have been a part of for the last 15 years, which is just amazing. Really incredible human beings and a collective of seers. So if you guys ever need a reading for anything in your life, that's where you can find me. The number 1, the number 2, the word listen.com, and really everybody there is very gifted with different capabilities that they've studied for their entire lives, really. And it's a tight group. It's been deeply vetted. So if you need anything, you guys, I'm over there. I usually hold remote healings. I'm also a healer. Every Monday. I'm just not this Monday because that's tonight, because I'm writing a book and I'm now deep in the editing process, which I will get to in a little bit. So today, lovelies, we're going to talk about June connected to the weather report is what I'm calling it. June is like this address. It's set. It's consistent. It's the calendar month. When you add the global year on top of it, that becomes the weather that all of us are standing in. And so this energy of June, which is, we consider it, I talk about it, it's a family number, it's where we tend and we nurture, we come home into our communities, and it feels more quiet, more inward, more cozy. And yet there's this energy that's here, which is real, and it's fatigue, right? We're tired. Why are we tired? I can tell you exactly why we're tired. It's because in the when you add the month itself, the energy of 6 to 1, which is our global year that we're sitting inside of, we get the energy of 7. 7 is more reclusive, and it brings you inward. And it also requires something else of us. So like I'm going to explain all this. So let me try to break this down. All right. If you stack the numbers of your life path into this mix, because honestly, the life path is important. And really, I'm going to build a pyramid for everybody, okay? If you stack your life path into the mix, think of it. Let me back up a little bit farther. If you take, let's pretend that that we're looking through a telescope, and we're going to take a wide view first. The wide lens view of way, way above the Earth. This is the universal year. And the year that we're in right now is a 1. This era is one that the whole world just stepped into, fresh start in January. It's a blank page, the very bottom of a brand new 9-year climb for all of us all at once. And inside that sits our universal month. So June is the number 6, right? But when you add it to the global year, it becomes a 7. This is the month's collective weather report, and you already know how we got this. 1 + 6 is 7. It's the room every one of us is standing in, no matter where we are. So then we cross the world and we come to you. That's your personal year number. And, well, no, first we have to hit the life path. And that life path, for those of you who don't know, that's your day, month, year of birth. And then you break that down to a single digit and outside of master numbers, right? This is your wiring. It's how you're built to meet anything that comes at you. It's the longest cycle that all of us have in numerology. It runs from your first breath to your last breath. It never changes. Basically, it's the blueprint of your soul, the superpowers that you came in with, and what you're here to create and do in this beautiful life of yours, right? Then sitting on top of that life path number is your personal year number. It's your day and month of birth. You guys, you all know about that, right? And so right now, what you're standing in is your personal 9-year climb. That's your particular year. And then the narrowest of all, obviously, is the personal months, right? This is just the predictable monthly layers that we have. Because every month this year steps up one number when we look at the weather report. So for example, January is a 1, February is a 2, but we're going to bump it up 1 for the weather report because we're in a 1 global year. It becomes a continuous staircase that you personally are climbing with your personal year. We're in a 1 global year. This is why so much of what's going on in our world feels like these launch pads that are happening all over the place. And for you, depending on where your personal year cycle is, you could be standing on the 7th step. It's like an inverted pyramid that is going 2 ways. And you're going to meet somewhere in the middle. So the weather report is going to impact you. This 7 frequency is impacting all of us differently in our personal year climb. All right. I'm thinking, hold on a minute. June feels like a cave. This is the month you go inward for the weather report. It's quiet. It feels unglamorous. It's behind closed doors. The thinking, the refining, the doubting, and the deciding, the parts of the process that nobody else gets to see and nobody hands you a medal for. The 7 weather report, it's not performative. It draws actually, and it deepens. So if June has felt strangely internal to you, strangely quiet on the outside, even while everything is churning and roaring on the inside, you've got to hear me, you guys. This isn't a stalling out. This is not a falling behind. That is the 7 energy, and that is a cave doing exactly what the cave is meant to do. Okay? The weather report, June. This is a cave energy. Now let's move that weather report into July. And I promise you, I'm going to bring it down into your personal year numbers. July is the 8. It's climbing out of the cave into the daylight. The 8 is power. It's manifestation. It's the month things become real and visible and start to pay you back for everything that you poured in. You take what you forged in the dark all through June and July, you carry it up and into the light, and you make it count. The cave gives way to the climb. And then August hits. August is a summit, and it's the release. 9 is completion. You guys all know that, right? It's the deeply satisfying, slightly bittersweet act of finishing a thing all the way. And then, this is the genius of it, handing it over. You reach the top of the staircase, you plant your flag, you look at what you've done, and then the 9 asks you to let it go, to open your hands so that they're empty, nothing in your hands, and ready for the brand new staircase to begin in September. So we've got the cave that's happening right now in June, the climb that's going to happen in July, the summit in August. This is the shape of this entire summer weather report. Hold on to all 3 of these words, because now I'm going to show you exactly where you personally are standing on those stairs. And this is where it does get fun. Every single one of us climbs 3 stairs this summer. Every one, because the months keep adding 1 as they go. Your personal June, your personal July, and your personal August are always going to be 3 numbers in a row. A clean little 3-step climb, custom built for your year. The only thing that's different between you and me and the person sitting next to you in the carpool line or the coffee shop is which stair you personally are on. It's the same staircase, guys. It's just a different step. And let me walk you through those steps. And you'll learn how completely different the same summer looks depending on where you begin. If you're in a 1 personal year right now, you are climbing the exact same stairs as the year itself. 7, then 8, then 9. You're perfectly in step with the entire collective. When the rest of the world goes into the cave, you go into the cave. When we summit, you summit, right on the world's own heartbeat. You're surfing the main current this summer, so you've got to trust it completely. Whatever feels true for everybody this season is actually true for you too, only doubled. You're not off on your own. You, my dears, are dead center. If you're a 2 personal year, your summer reads 8, 9, 1. Look at that. You peak early. There's power in June, 8, completion in 9, in July, 9. And then, look at that. By August, you've already got a brand new 1 energy opening up under your feet. You finish your arc and reset before almost anybody else does. So don't be startled if late summer you start to feel like a page turned like just a little bit early for you. Like everyone else is still cresting while you're quietly starting something new. That's your rhythm this year. You're ahead of the turn. A 3 walks 9. Three personal year, you guys. You're on a different starting point on the grand staircase of the global year arc. All right? It's an ending that becomes a beginning. So in June, you've got 9, and then July is 1, and then August is 2. All right, so in June, an ending becomes a beginning. That becoming is, well, June is an ending. July is the beginning, and then August, the 1 becomes 2. You're releasing something in June. You're starting something fresh in July. And by August, it's all about partnership and connection and who you're doing it with. Watch how fast, 3-penners, your endings turn into new company this summer. You clear the old to make room for the people who are coming. Now let's move to the 4-pin. And this one makes me so happy for you guys because this summer is a 1, 2, 3. The builders get to bloom, thank God. A private new beginning in June, then partnership in July, and then by August, the real creative expression starts. Real lightness, real color. For the 4, whose entire year is so often about foundations and disciplines and labor and grind, this is a rare and genuinely gorgeous stretch. So I'm going to give you permission right now to let yourself enjoy it. You don't have to earn the lightness. It's the stair that you're on. All right? Denise, you're saying fun trip. The end of July and start of August will be interesting. Ending June and new start in August. That's a fantastic, yeah. Hey, Claire. Hey, girl. Glad you're here. And Sherry. Hello, angels. Okay, you guys, hang in there with me. We are talking about the arc for the personal years and the weather through the summer, and then the weather pattern that we're all moving through, which it is, we're tired. And I want to, explain. I want to give you like some threads on that too. All right, hopefully we'll get there. 5-pinners, you guys. So this climb for you in June, July, August looks like 2, 3, 4. The free spirit learns patience first. I know it's not your favorite 5-pinners, but then you finally get to play in July. And then by August, you actually land somewhere and build something that lasts. The restlessness one is being taught. You are being taught, you little restless monkey, right? Very gentle over the 3 months. How to just stay. How to let something take root. And 5 personal years, you just kind of need that catch of like let your roots settle in for just a little bit, because then you could take off again. And there's so much change that happens in a 5 personal year. 6s, 6-pinners. Your climb is 3, 4, 5. Play, then build, then break free. Your whole year is so often about caretaking, about holding everyone. And this summer lets you off the leash by the time August comes. The one who carries everybody finally gets to feel the wind on her face at the end of the season. You've been holding the rope all year. August, you finally get to let go of it. And 7-pinners. I'm going to be coming back to this one. because just a couple of minutes because this is the one that I'm living in right now. The climb for 7-pin is 4, then 5, then 6. The grind, the foundation in June. You hit the shift in July, and you bring it all the way home with care and with love in August. We're going to talk about exactly what that looks like from the inside because I know it intimately right now. 8 pinners. Your summer arc is 5, 6, and 7. So freedom, then responsibility, then retreat. And I want you to notice something about that. 8, the big power year, the year of force and ambition and making it happen, sends you inward at the end of the summer, that 9 energy. Or 7 energy, what am I saying? After all that drive, August asks that you go quiet. Just reflect for a little bit. Don't fight that. Let the power year close with a breath. And my beautiful 9 pinners, you closing out this entire 9-year cycle this year, right? Your climb for the next 3 months is 6, 7, and 8. Care, then retreat, and then a real surge of power in August to finish strong. Think about how well timed that is. You've got a summit month, burst of energy, and momentum right when you need it the most, right at the finish line to complete an entire chapter of your beautiful life. The cycle gives you fuel for the next lap. So we're all on the same staircase, you guys. It's 9 completely different climbs. We're all on these different steps. And that's why your experience through the summer months could be completely different than somebody else's. It's because you've started on a different step on the massive staircase itself. So the 2 tireds, this is where I want to get to. I'm tired. I'm tired in the best of ways. And it does tie to what I'm doing. It does tie to my personal year cycle. It ties to my life path. It ties to all of this. And as I'm sitting here trying to hold on to teaching numerology and hold on to keeping like a thread in the podcast and my shows here just while I am creating and building. It's like I'm world building right now, and I'm bringing together so many different parts of my life. The fatigue is specific, and there's a reason for it, and the reason for every single personal year who is feeling this fatigue and you just can't figure out why. And my conversations about, well, 6 is family. It's like, no, it's actually the weather report. I got to get around to talking about this weather report. And so there's a reason inside of every single personal year cycle why the fatigue is here. And I'm going to lay that out. And I'm also going to talk about what the medicine for you guys would be in order to manage it. All right. Yeah. Clean tired. There's a clean tired and there's a sour tired. Clean tired. This is the honest ache of actually doing the work in front of you, of climbing your real stairs of your personal year, of swimming with your own current instead of against it. It's the good soreness that you feel the day after you finally did the thing. It costs you something, of course. It always does. Real effort always does. But underneath the cost, there's a rightness to it, and you can just feel it. You might be spent. You might feel a little hollowed out. But when you lie down at the end of the day, with that kind of emptied out in a way that feels almost strangely like satisfaction, you're doing something right. The second kind is a soured tired. And this one is sneaky because it can look every bit as legitimate as the I'm achy sore, after a really good workout. It's sneaky. You might be working hard. You're putting in the hours. Nobody could accuse you of laziness, but this is the drain of resisting your number, of fighting your own current instead of writing it, of forcing a beginning when your year is asking for, let's say, an ending, or demanding visibility and output when your year could be begging you to be quiet and a cave dweller. This type of tired will never satisfy you. It just kind of empties you out. You rest and you don't refill. You sleep a full night and you wake up just as hollow as when you went to bed. You pour more in and somehow there's even less. It's the same exhaustion, same reading of the gauge, completely different fuel being burned underneath. And here's why this matters so much, you guys, because I genuinely think that the most useful idea in the whole system is this one. The tiredness that you're experiencing is actually a compass. So I want you to stop asking yourself that old spiraling, shame-soaked question of why am I so tired? Because that answer is just not going to get you anywhere. It just walks you in circles around your own guilt, shame, and guilt. There's an arrow that's pointing in your personal year cycle towards what's the medicine here? What am I missing? What do I need to look at, right? So let's jump into this. I think the first thing I want to do is, you guys understand that, right? You see so the fatigue and the fatigue part in June is sitting in the weather report of the 7 energy. And I am going to go right down the line through all the pins. Just hold on a second. I really want you to understand this. And so if we're all standing on this global one energy that I have talked ad nauseum to you about, take advantage of it. Make something, create something, do something that you want to have as a lived experience in your life. You're going to want to anchor it into your personal year, what step you're on. Like, for example, I'm on the 7th step in a 1 global year surge energy, right? And so my pin is sitting on the 7th step, and there's very focused targets and goals in how I'm going to harness that as I move up on this staircase. The weather report is going to impact how I metabolize that energy. And to know that, so we're all sitting in this 7 energy in the weather, and this year has been tiring because it's a 1 year. We move into a 2 year. It has a different vibe to it. It's definitely not we see it boots on the ground, but we also experience it in our own lives. It's a trickle-down effect of now here's what the opportunities are for us. All right? So let's jump into the fatigue. It's halfway through a very intense year. You have your personal year. That math, the bogeys and the targets and the goals, that is solid. It doesn't change. All right? I want you to just listen to this as, is the tired getting piped through you're trying to force something, or you're right dead on the money. All right, you're sore, your muscles are sore, and it's been for a good reason, and you've had your focus in the right direction. Hello, Quayle, honey. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, jump on into the conversation. One pinners, whether that's the wiring that you've carried your whole life, or the chapter that you're in this year. What do I mean? One pinners, one life pathers. Listen to the combination here. You're tired is wired, not weary. You're keyed up. You can't switch it off. You lie down at night and your mind just keeps sprinting, lap after lap, because it is the one engine. I know one life pathers who, actually one of them's my kid, one life pather in a one personal year, and just completely tracking this energy. Yeah, you're going to be wired up, and this is your whole pipeline that is tracking on this. You're keyed up. You can't switch it off. You lie down at night and your mind keeps sprinting lap after lap, because the one is the engine that is running really hard for you on this surge. You're the starter. You're the one who goes first, because because you know what? You go first before there is even a path. You're making the path. You got your machete out. And engines don't idle easily for the one pinner. That's not what they're here to do. That's not what they're built for. That's not what the one life pather is built for. There's also a particular loneliness woven into it. It's quiet. Often it feels like there's a cost associated with being out front, of really this pull and the sprint, and you're just in front before anybody else catches up to see what you're seeing. So your exhaustion isn't from too much rest being denied. Listen to me, one pinners. It's from being the thing that pulls the whole train forward. Of course, you're wired this way. You're the engine. Right. I'll get to the medicine in a minute. The two carries something completely different, and that is the ache of restraint. You are drained from waiting, from smoothing things over. So to life path, to personal year. Listen to me, you guys. From holding attention in the room that you did not create and you cannot discharge. And here's what nobody ever tells the two, and it's about patience, real patience. It's heavy lifting that no one ever can see, like the one we can see. The two, you can't see this. You can't see the heavy lifting that you're doing. You look perfectly calm on the outside, serene even, while on the inside you are carrying a piano up 4 flights of stairs. That's invisible labor. That is also real labor. And it's exhausting precisely because you never got credit for it. You're not tired from doing, you're tired from holding. Threes know the social hangover all too well. 3 life path, 3 pinner. You've been on, bright, expressive, generous, pouring your light out to everybody in the room and every room you walk into. And then guess what happens? Then comes the crash, the post-output emptiness. You were sparkling at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and now you're completely hollowed out by 6 in the evening, and you couldn't even begin to explain why to anybody. That's the specific fatigue of having given your light away all day long and having nothing left to glow by nightfall. The brighter you shine, the deeper the dark afterward. That's not a flaw in you. That's just the physics of being a 3. Life path, 3-pin. Now the 4. The 4 is the honest one. Bone tired, flat out, muscle and mortar, end of a long workday, tired. You've been building with no shortcuts, no cheats, no skipping steps, because that's not how a 4 builds. And the body knows every brick laid, every brick. And I'll tell you right now, for foreshadowing where we're headed in a few minutes, the 4 is the only number here that gets to take a nap. And I mean that literally. Everybody else, the medicine is different. 5 isn't really tired so much as frazzled. 5 life path, 5-pin. Wired and scattered all at once. 40 browsers open on your tabs, right, in the brain, and not one of them is willing to close. And it's the cruelest kind in a way, because it's the exhaustion that just won't let loose. It just won't rest. You're depleted and you're restless. And at the same time, which is its own special torture, you're just depleted and you're restless. You're too tired to keep going and too keyed up to even stop. The free spirit runs absolutely ragged by this bottomless appetite for everything, everywhere, all at once. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's also exhausting. The 6, heart-tiered, the caregiver's empty tank. You have been carrying everyone, their needs, their crises, their moods, their weights, and you have quietly run yourself all the way down doing it, right? The way you always do, without ever quite noticing that it's happening until you do. This one's, the 6 isn't physical and it isn't mental. It's the specific tender depletion of having loved a great many people very, very hard and having completely forgotten to keep any of that love for yourself because you gave it away again. And now the tank reads empty and you're, what, surprised? Even though you shouldn't be. And then there's the 7. This one is mine. So let me speak to you from the inside of it, because I'm not theorizing here. I'm living in this exact spot right now as we speak. The 7 is soul stretched. It's mind-bendingly deep. It's cave wrung. It's the fatigue of going far in instead of far out. And I'll tell you exactly what it feels like, because I'm feeling it like right now, this moment in this season in my life. I've been writing a 5-book series for 6 years. 6 years. And I didn't know when I started it that it would become 5 books, but it is 5 books. But they're all a collective. And I'm obsessed with the work that I do. I can't stop, and I don't want to stop. And this is the gift, the 7 year handed me, that I didn't even know it was going to be handing me when I stepped into it. All right. And this is really what I want to pass on to you guys. The exhaustion that I'm feeling isn't a malfunction. It's not a sign that I've done something wrong. It's the curriculum that's sitting inside of numerology. The 7 does not pay you in energy. It does not pay, the pay isn't visible. It's not postable progress. It pays you mastery. And the depth of this entire point, and the depth is tiring in a way that has absolutely nothing to do with how many hours that I got in sleep last night or the night before, this entire month. So if you're a 7, and you feel worn thin from going deep into something, from disappearing into a craft or a question or a project that nobody else can see yet, You're doing it exactly right. It's perfect. Don't worry about it. That fatigue is the proof that you're in the cave. You're doing the real and sacred work. Wear it like a badge. It's not a wound, kids. All right? 8. 8 carries weight tired. 8 life path, 8 pinners. The executive's heaviness, stakes, scales, consequences, all of it riding squarely on your shoulders all the time. You're not tired from motion the way the 5 is. You're tired from gravity, from being the one the entire structure leans on, the one who can't ever fully put it down, because if you do, you can feel it start to tilt. It's the fatigue of responsibility you don't get to set down, and the loneliness of knowing how much depends on you staying upright. And the 9, you guys, this is grief fatigue. This is one of the most tender flavors of all the numbers. You're completing a whole, and this, I'm talking about a life path as well, guys. I'm on a 9 life path, as well as the pin. You're completing a whole cycle, an entire chapter, and there's a hollow that comes with finishing pretty much anything. It's a kind of like a mourning for the very thing that you're letting go of, even as you're genuinely proud to be finishing. It's not sleepiness, it's not laziness, it's like this bittersweet emptiness, the ache of an ending that you know in your bones is right. But it still costs you something real to walk through. You're not exhausted because you're weak. You're exhausted because you're grieving and finishing at the same time, and that is one of the heaviest things that a person ever does. All right, so I want you to notice a pattern here, because it's actually gorgeous once you see it. 4 of these numbers feel classic, recognizable, textbook fatigue, right? The 4, the 6, the 7, the 8. And those 4 are exactly the weight-bearing numbers, the ones whose whole job is to build, to give, to go deep, to carry. They tire the way a body tires under a heavy load. Honest, physical feeling, leaning against the wall, tired. We get that. But the other 5, which is the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, the 9, they don't tire like that at all. They don't bear weight so much as they fray, or they ache, or they hollow out. They spend their energy in a completely different currency, timbre. Same depletion, though, at the end of the day. It's a totally different exhaust pipe. And knowing which kind you are changes absolutely everything about what comes next, because it actually changes the cure. So this is the diagnosis for all 9 pins. And now let's talk about the medicine. All right, and I promise you, this is where it really it does get good, because there's a twist coming that genuinely will surprise you when I lay it out. If you're a 1, you can't rest a running engine. So stop trying to rest this engine. It's only going to frustrate you. Your cure is to discharge, guys. Burn it off, and I mean physically. Move, sweat. Make something with your hands. Run the energy through your body, and then finish one thing all the way to done, so that your mind is finally given permission to idle. Because an open loop will keep the 1 awake forever. And one more thing, because going first is actually very lonely, tell one single person what you're building. Not an audience, not a witness, just one person. You'd be amazed how much weight comes off of your shoulders the moment one other human being simply knows what you're carrying. Don't turn off the engine. You actually can't, kids. Okay? You just gotta off gas. You gotta sweat it out, and then make sure you have one person in your corner you can tell. All right? And then get one thing done. Just one thing, put it in the can, and I promise you, the rest, the fatigue level will lift. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm actually talking to one of my kids out there. 2s, the cure is to be held, you guys. For once in your life, you spend all this energy absorbing everybody else's tension, managing everybody else's weather. So your refill is the radical act of letting somebody carry you for a change. Stop managing the room. Put it down. Let yourself be the one who receives instead of always endlessly being the one. You are the one who is endlessly, it's received. I've got a thing going on here. You get to be received. You are the one who is constantly receiving others. Let this thing of you being caught happen, all right? And at the same time, I know you're going to continue to help other people and receive other people, but this is the piece. Give yourself this one small thing, and you get to be blunt and decisive and even a little sharp with no diplomacy whatsoever. Because a 2 who never ever gets to be sharp slowly goes opaque and dull. And the dullness is half of your exhaustion right now, 2s, all right? For the 3, the cure is to play with your door closed. Your people out, performed out, given out. So the answer is not more solitude is punishment. It's creation with no audience at all. Make something that is just for the joy of it, so that nobody, you feel like people are getting in there and like criticizing or critiquing your work. Something for you that nobody will ever see. And this is the real key for you in flipping this direction of the flow. Instead of pouring your art out, take your art in. Read something wonderful, watch something beautiful, wander through a museum with no agenda whatsoever. Let yourself be the audience for once. Refill the well privately, in the quiet, before the world asks you to pour from it again. This well doesn't refill while you're still pouring. Somebody just asked me a question. Yes, this is the weather report of that how the weather report impacts the personal years, all right? 4s, you guys, guess what? Go take a nap. You are the only one. You've earned it, so take your nap. Take the day off. Take a whole entire weekend. And don't you dare feel 1 ounce of guilt about it. And here's the second half of your prescription. And I don't want you to skip this either. In fact, I just really think you shouldn't. Because 4s lose heart the moment progress goes invisible. Go and look at the wall you built. Walk the site. Count the bricks. Stand back and actually see the evidence of what your hands have made these last months. Rest plus proof. That's the whole cure for you. And then the rest restores the body and the proof restores the spirit. 4s need both in this month. Neither one of the side of this equation is going to work. So go get the proof that you need. that brick's there, that brick's there, that brick's there. And then you should be able to take the weekend off, right? Do whatever you want to do that just makes you happy. Take naps. Eat good food. Just rest. Fours. The 5. Now, never, ever prescribe stillness to a 5 life pather or a 5 personal year, because that's literally like a prison sentence. Your cure 5s is novelty, but novelty with edges. One genuinely new thing. And you go all the way into it. I don't care what it is, a trip, a change of scenery, a fresh experience you've never had before. But pointed. Aim at a single target. Here's your real problem inside of all of this, is that you don't actually need less stimulation. You've got far too much already. Remember the 40 tabs example that I gave for all the 5s? Screaming at you all at once. You're genuinely stimulated by that. However, with this 7 energy, pick one and go all the way in. Just get all up in the shiz, because what that does is it focuses your restless energy, and paradoxically, it's actually the only thing that lets a 5 finally exhale. That's the medicine for the fatigue for you guys, all right? 6's cure is the single hardest one for the 6 to actually accept, and you already know what I'm going to say, I believe, and that's receive. Let yourself be tended for once. Let somebody else hold the load you are always, always carrying. Take in something beautiful for absolutely no reason. Not to share it, not to caretake it, not to do anything useful with it, just to receive it. And hear me on this part, because I know you struggle with it more than anyone. For you, a boundary is not selfish. A boundary is a refill. That no you've been so afraid to say, the one stuck in your throat, that no is your medicine. Say it. Saying it is how you fill up your tank. You fill it back up. All right, and 7, my people, your cure is to unplug on purpose. And I want to be precise about that, because here's the exact trap that we all fall into. We collapse into solitude already exhausted, instead of choosing solitude while we are still rested. These are 2 completely different things, and only one of them heals you. So this looks like go offline, not by design, not by burnout. Get by water, get by trees, find real silence. Get yourself genuinely unreachable. Phone off for real. And here's a really big one, and I am saying this to myself as much as you. Stop measuring yourself by visible output. The 7's deposits are invisible, and they are absolutely, certainly still accruing, even when you can't see a single thing to show for the day. You refill by being, not by doing. And I have to remind myself of that one constantly right now, mid-book, mid-grind. Being is not nothing. For a 7, being is the whole point. And you guys, I have 8, 9 to get through. Put the weight down, and I have like 2 minutes. 8s, step back. Listen, what I want you to watch out for is learning how to rest by the evidence, not by the faith. Enjoy something this month that you've built. Buy the good thing. Take the trip. Sit in what it is that you've made. Your blind spot is you don't recharge by giving more up. You recharge by finally letting yourself have some of it, right? So step back. Work with the structure that stands without your hands on it. Delegate something real, step back, and then watch it hold. All right. So it's just like, it's like, don't try to control things that are, you're not an island child is basically what I'm saying. And nines, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm burning through this. I promise you I will pick this up next week. The hollow that you feel, nines, this isn't laziness, it's mourning. So for heaven's sakes, would you let yourself mourn? Ritualize the ending, mark it, light the candle, write the letter, hold the ceremony, whatever it looks like for you. This is going to help you with the fatigue. Honor the thing you're completing instead of just grimly grinding past it. And this should help just balance things out. Acknowledge the fatigue point and then put a sacred ritual around it so you can put it to bed, with respect and honor. You guys, I love you. I gotta go. I'm just a little bit over. Thank you for being here. And I love all of you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Hit that like button. Leave a comment here. And I will see you all next week. All the loves.